Welcome back, Ace Runners, to the first day of the 2023 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship, presented by Barbasol. Coverage brought to you by Ace Run Pro. And my name is Holly Finley.
And I'm Raven Klein. You can sit back and recline because we've brought you the back nine. We are at Nevin Park in Charlotte, North Carolina. A beautiful setup, pretty clear day. The rain has gone away. Oh, I didn't even try to rhyme that time. It just happens. I can't help it. Let's check in on the leaderboard.
Because of the championship format, players have started with a stroke advantage. Some players starting under par and some players starting with even.
Yeah. We'll kick off here with hole 10, par 3, 242 feet. It is just a straight uphill shot. The road behind is OB. Other than that, you just need to stay away from the trees. I would say some of these players might throw a mid to try and keep themselves from having a flare skip at the end of the flight. But this is one of the, easier shots on the course. Or maybe more clear cut is what I was looking for. Straightforward.
It's very uphill.
Yeah.
Ella Hansen up first after 3 birdies in a row and a par.
Able to push her putter up into the circle. I feel like this hole always gets me because you think you parked it and you still have like 20 feet. So you want to throw it a little further than you think.
Catrina inside the circle putting for birdie. Good height from Kat's shot.
Yeah, and using the fairway.
She has parked it. I kind of feel like this is a birdie. You should not... you should be parking this. You know, 9 out of 10 times.
Hailey pulls her shot to the right and catches a tree. So she's got a long C2 look at birdie.
She gives it a float up there. Ella Hansen for birdie from 20 feet. Oh, falls out right side.
Yep, I think she's feeling exactly what you were just saying, that this should be a birdie.
Catrina Allen makes good for the birdie putt here on the 10th. That moves her to even for the day. Kat Mertsch picking up yet another birdie, taking her back to 4 under par. And with her 2-stroke advantage, that actually moves her to 6 under par, and Kat Mertsch has moved into the lead at this point.
I did play the easiest hole today with not a single player getting anything worse than a par. So that's nice.
Wow, that's nice. Thanks, hole 10. Let's check out hole 11, par 3, 375 feet. You do have the Mando disc pass to the right of that. The road on the left out of bounds. Mainly you want to hit the gap and get as far as possible. If you get as far as possible at the basket, that's too far. Because it's downhill and elevated, you're going to end up really far down in the ravine, putting back uphill. I do prefer to land a little short and trickle up to the basket with a mid, or even hyzer out pin deep and maybe take a putt if you're feeling brave.
This can be a tough one for your decision making too, because anything shy of 60, there's no decision. You know you're just laying up. But if you get just outside the circle, you want that birdie. You know, we know it's a distance that we can make, but it's so treacherous.
Catrina Allen hits the gap, but doesn't make it to the basket. Kat Mertsch barely makes it into the woods, gets caught up on the right side.
So this disc that Ella just threw is, she actually aced this hole in practice.
With that disc?
With that disc, yeah. But she pulls that one a little bit to the right side and gets caught up. So unfortunately not an ace, but that was her first ace.
Ever?
Ever.
What?
I think it's the hair.
Oh my goodness. Hailey King hits the gap, but also doesn't park it. It's not really a putt. I'd say it's better to lay that one up. I was kind of looking at Hailey King's shirt. It looks
like she's
it's
wearing
got
it backwards.
A double collar. Does it have a zipper on the front and the back?
No, the zipper's only on the back.
I'm going to need another look at that.
I also thought it was backwards when I first saw it.
Catrina has a shirt similar to that.
Yeah. Mertsch pulls her approach to the right side, kicks to the left, and doesn't even take a second. She knows she's pitching out. Ella landed on the left side of the fairway, and she is throwing her razor claw on an approach, but that's going... Ooh, it was going to go deeper and caught the tree, and I don't know if I've ever seen something not roll on that hill.
Still a heck of a putt. And like the majority of wooded courses, we saw Cat Mertsch just pitched out a couple feet. You hate to waste a stroke on 5 feet, but
okay.
She's
It's
looking
true.
to play for the bogey.
I think the day you can learn how important a 5-stroke, oh my gosh, a pitch out is the day you like level up. And as you can see on this hole, Catrina does the smart layup, catches an edge, and rolls all the way down the hill. You never know if it's going to be you.
Catrina doesn't even try to go for the putt. She pitches it up. She'll have to settle for the bogey. Ella gives it some good height, and hey, that's showbiz, baby.
Way to pick up her stuff, too.
We all know the risk of going for the elevated putt, and she is back. Same spot at it again. More of a loft this time. Not as much forward progression. She'll have a drop in.
I can appreciate the run.
Me too.
Mertsch giving it a bid there. Hits cage.
Mertsch will have to settle for a 6 here on hole 11. That one got away from her. She had a really strong round going.
Yeah.
And that's Nevin for you, though. It's just all of a sudden, it just snowball.
Yeah, we've got a bogey from Catrina. We have a double from Hansen and a par from Hailey. So a little bit of
Single,
everything there.
double, triple.
Yeah, there was only one birdie on that hole today, coming from Macy Valadez.
And it's right there. It's just straight ahead right there.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. Today, the world is in the palm of your hand. Or at least this can is. For over 100 years, Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
Welcome back, hole 12, par 4, 603 feet. Your first shot, it's important to find your landing zone. If you can get past the tree trunk on the bottom there, a great shot is actually going to be across the creek and in the middle, but you don't have to push it if you don't want to. You just want to be lined up with the rest of the fairway. Second shot, push something as straight as you can. Try to land in the ground here. There's not too much to contend with. The wood chips aren't super fast, but you can still get some skips. Hailey going with a wide hyzer, lot of height, and just doesn't get back through to the fairway. I don't know if she wanted to go that wide.
Catrina pulls hers a bit to the right side.
Definitely didn't want to go that wide.
Sneaks through the woods, but still she's over there in a bushy area.
Ella throwing a mid, just trying to have some good control on the disc. She does catch a tree on the right side, though. She is in the middle.
Cat shot a bit more left than you're looking for. She'll be in Scrambleville. From here, the ladies need to get to the ditch or a little bit past it to play for par, and Catrina gets caught up. Ella's actually in decent position to send it down to the green.
A nice shot here from Ella. Makes a good distance down. That's why I think it's a little more important. I mean, like any wooded course, your position versus your distance. She didn't try and get greedy off the tee, and even though she caught a tree, she had a look at the second shot. Mertsch just trying to pitch out to the fairway, doesn't make it all the way back in.
Very good
angle
shot.
control, though. Wow, great shot from Mertsch.
Incredible. Catrina out of position, forced to pitch up, but hits a pencil tree. Still a bit out of position. Hits another pencil tree, back out of position in the woods. Again, forced to another pitch up.
Hailey King trying to get some distance back here. Executes a great shot, and she is inside the bullseye. Catrina gets just outside the bullseye.
I feel like something's getting serious. Ella's scrunched up her left pant leg.
So I found her after the round, and she got bit by fire ants.
Oh, I hate that.
It was like on her calf, because I was like, oh, is this a statement? Is this a fashion statement?
Right,
Because
right.
I was like, I could totally believe that. Yeah.
Yes.
But it was actually fire ants.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Mertsch hits the koozie. Yeah, the fire ants are really bad at Winthrop.
Yeah. Good
Catrina,
putt in.
she will take a 7 here on hole 12. Have you ever gotten lit up by the Winthrop fire ants?
Not from the Winthrop ones, no. Ella in for par.
Well, they have that family thing where they all work together.
Yeah.
And you've got, 100 on your leg, but you don't feel it. And then all of a sudden they all
It's
bite at once.
Yeah. King in for par and Mertsch in for bogey. Yeah, luckily I have not had fire ant problems, but quite a few people got bit at Rensky.
Let's check out hole 13, another par 5 here in the woods. 685 feet off the tee, you're looking at a hyzer placement shot, preferably landing right about here. The next shot isn't going to be distance, it's going to be more accuracy and placement, landing about here. That will give you a shot into the green, downhill, hopefully sneaking up there to the circle, getting a look at a birdie 4.
This is a great feeling birdie.
Hailey King, step 1, hyzer off the tee. A little short of the preferred landing zone, but still in a decent position. Ella also shorts it a bit, but gets lucky.
That's a great tree nudge. It's funny because you want that hyzer off the tee, but if you go too far left, it's a very touchy second shot. Mertsch pushes a little bit too straight and catches one of the last trees.
Catrina, early release corner.
Oof. Knew it out of her hand. Now just trying to get back in position. That's a beautiful shot from Catrina.
Yeah, that'll work.
Even with the tree kick, still beautiful. Mertsch not in bad position. Pushes something straight, though, into the right side tree line, and she's going to pinch herself off on this third shot.
If you're looking for coverage for your event in your area, you can visit acerun.pro and request for the team to come out, get coverage of your local event. Hailey King with a standstill sidearm, still scrambling from that position.
Ella in good position here for the second shot. Goes with the forehand flex, but cuts the corner a little bit too tight and does catch a tree.
Ooh, I love the shot shape on this from Cat.
That's really nice. A little bit on the left side of the fairway, but a good shot.
And Mertsch, again, not looking for distance, you're just looking for positioning. She has done just that.
King throwing a hyzer to progress up the fairway. She'll be able to float something in toward the basket now. Oh, yeah, you can kind of hear Ella say it. Too high on that shot. It would have been a good shape had she kept it just about the height of the hill, but...
Good angle on the upshot from Mertsch. Hits the tree, almost goes in the basket. Yeah, we need a run back for that. Look at this.
Off
Tree
the
ricochet.
Into the cage. That would have been so cool. Wow. Disc golf, I tell ya.
It's so fun.
It's one shot like that that keeps you in this game for like a year longer after you've been frustrated. And that's all it takes. Hailey just floating something down toward the basket. She's going to tap in to end this hole. Ella off to the right side.
Oh, good bid from Ella Hansen right off the front of the cage.
Great bid. I mean, she really did play that hole well.
Oh my goodness, Catrina almost throwing it in.
Yeah, good bids from both players. Catrina on the comeback now.
She's in for the bogey 6 here on hole 13.
Mertsch in for par. Oh, that would have been such a cool birdie. Hansen in for par. And Hailey in for par. Hole 14, par 3, 320 feet. It is just a straight tunnel shot to the basket. The only OB to contend with is if you were to blast past the basket and get all the way to the road. Not super likely on this one. As much as you want the birdie, stay in the middle of the fairway. That's the best note I can give you. You'll maybe see people throwing a mid straight and not worrying about it, or if you can get a full flight on maybe a hyzer flip up.
Hailey King up first. Little 2 on the left side. She's luckily in the middle of the fairway, halfway down.
Ella going with a faster disc, needing it to get some of that turn going, but she hits a similar area that Hailey did.
Mertsch with a nice flip up, hitting the gap beautifully.
Beautiful shot. Oh my gosh.
Mertsch has parked it.
I think a 300-ish tunnel shot is one of my favorites. It's just so pretty.
Cat has 2 discs like that, and sometimes if the other one goes in the forest or something and we're looking for it, she'll be like, "Don't worry, it's not the main one." Because we all know she does that type of stuff with it.
That's true.
Catrina Allen's shot moved a little to the right side and then ricocheted left. Another good look at Hailey's shirt. How unique is that?
Yeah, see, doesn't it look like it's backwards? And I was like, I could see Hailey wearing a shirt backwards. But the front also has the collar spot. Like, it's good approach shot from Hailey. Ella going with the forehand on her razor claw again. Just to the edge of the bullseye. Catrina just trying to hyzer something in toward the basket. Catches the tree edge, but she's in the circle.
Incredible par save putt from Catrina Allen here on hole 14.
She is putting well today. If you haven't gotten a chance to go watch the front 9, you can find that on the Ace Run Pro page. Ella Hansen in for par. There are areas of this course that are hard to watch because you get really into the woods, but several holes do find the start or end by the road, making it easier for spectators.
Cat Mertsch in for the birdie. Only a handful of birdies here today. Cat Mertsch also the only player under par on this card.
Got a lot of color going on. He's got a lot of goodness. Like she had that under control and then back to it. I feel like courses
She
like
made that?
Yeah, courses like this are so interesting because there are so many ways to get from point A to point B.
Missy. Taking the risk.
Taking the risk. Welcome back, players and playettes. This is hole 15, a par 3, 346 feet. You've got 2 lanes. Got the left side turnover or forehand route that the drone is flying. And you've also got a nice straight tunnel shot right side off the tee, just depending on how your game is that day or which gap's looking the tastiest. Whatever you do, get down there for a birdie putt. This is such a unique hole. I consider this almost a bonus birdie.
Yeah. The shot shapes are there, but it's another one where maybe you feel like you nailed it and you're left just a little bit short with a downhill putt. Mertsch releases early and high on the left side, so she's not going to get the distance she's looking for.
Hailey King knew right out of her hand that shot was straight into a tree.
Ella with the low forehand pushing the hyzer gets most of the way down the fairway with a big flare at the end. She's still going to be in circle 2, but so far the best shot on the card.
Catrina taking that left side turnover.
Gosh, I love that line so much.
Oh, she almost hits the gap. Gets a roll out of it.
Wow.
She's going to have a birdie putt.
It's still going.
A birdie putt in the circle at that.
I mean, without the trees, she was going to be down by the basket. But to have 2 tree kicks and a roll and still get inside the circle, capitalize on that. King with a forehand approach, getting to the edge of the circle. Mertsch with the forehand approach. Lands it just a little shy with a skip off to the right side.
It's going to be a 25-foot par putt for Cat Mertsch.
Hansen with a little Annie floater bid.
Hansen with
Hailey
the Annie.
Hansen.
Catrina Allen for birdie. It's in.
Oh, so good.
I love a birdie on the 15th. It's such a fun shot. I love both of them. You take the left side, you snuck up there. You take the right side, incredible tunnel.
The left side Annie shot is my favorite. I just feel like you can get that distance so much easier than trying to flip up a forehand or push that distance.
Cat Mertsch is in for par, as well as Hailey King.
Don't forget about Hansen.
Hansen. Look at Hailey King's scorecard.
Golf. Ella also in for the par here on the 15th. Such a good birdie from Catrina. Moving on, hole 16, par 3, 270 feet. The way the tee pad faces, it feels like a very narrow shot, even though this fairway has a decent amount of space. But you want to push something up the hill. I would just say, if you can get something straight, that's great. If you really want to get something that has a left finish, go for it. but the risk reward with the tee shot can be very difficult. Curious to see how these players approach this shot.
Catrina Allen up first, hitting the gap and getting up there for a birdie putt. Oh, Mertsch pulls it to the right side. She'll be scrambling for par.
Oh, beautiful shot from Hailey. If I could have held straight a little bit longer, but she's up past the pin on the left side, and I think she got in a gap of the trees.
Ella Hansen hits early right side.
Ooh, not committing enough to that angle. She kicked so far to the left.
Yeah, that deserves a disc thigh slap.
Are you a thigh slapper?
Only if I make a mistake like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it just does the worst thing possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
That's a great shot from Ella.
What a
I
recovery.
feel like you couldn't even see the basket from
I feel
where
like
she was.
that's worth another thigh slap.
But like a good one. Like
yeah.
a yeehaw.
Like, heck yeah. I did that. King in for the birdie.
She heard what you said about her scorecard.
You're right. She's like, enough with the gray. Let me get a green going.
Oh, Catrina, I think with maybe only the second putt she's missed at distance. This is Ella to save bogey.
It almost looks like she hit her forehead with her putter. Boop. Boop. And putting stroke.
Mertsch in for the par. Allen in for the par. Nice and simple. It was a good bid for her birdie.
All the caddies with double umbrellas.
The umbrellas, yeah. So many umbrellas out on the course.
Let's check out the new hole 17, par 4, 715 feet. You must hit the gap off the tee. Then you've got the spilled to land in, surrounded by out of bounds. If you want to play for the par, you can just get through the gap and land safe. But if you want to go for the birdie, you need to get maximum distance. Otherwise, you're going to lay up again short of the OB and then a chip shot into the green. If you got max distance off the tee, then you're going to send another max distance shot into this small green, hopefully getting a birdie putt. Hailey King up first, hits the gap. Good height, good power.
Just need that to sit so she doesn't get too far left.
And she is safe.
I feel like that is a possible error. You know, if you throw it a little too high, hyzering out to that left side. Catrina with a great shot here. Getting some good distance, pushing straight. Safe on the fairway. Ooh, Mertsch gets through, but with that hyzer.
And the spectators are in danger. That one, she's out of bounds off the tee.
Ella last on the tee.
Oh,
Ooh.
misses the gap, but makes the gap. Bonus gap.
Made her own gap. And with some really good distance.
Cat Mertsch's third shot. From
This-
here, it
this has a lot on it.
wouldn't be too smart to go for it.
No,
She needed to lay up short of the OB, and she has gone long, out of bounds yet again. Catrina Allen just laying up short of the OB. From here, Ella's got about 350 into the pin.
she is going for it here.
It's so far right. It's so far right.
Wow.
And it's in.
I mean, you definitely, if you're trying to go for it, that is the space to use. That was just
Yes.
far, though. Making me nervous. Hailey going for it as well. Giving it good height with the hyzer.
Oh, just like you said, barely in bounds.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you really got to pull it to the right and let it work back
it's a little
center.
deceptive from where you are on that main fairway, so you almost have to push that tree line and let it hyzer in. I feel like the way the men play it, our basket is their landing zone.
Catrina Allen with a hyzer shot into the green.
Beautiful.
She's in the bullseye.
Nice and controlled. That's your benefit there of just pitching up.
This is Mertsch's 5th shot. She's given herself a putt.
Leaves it a little short. But anywhere on the screen is a putt. Ooh. Ella leaves hers to the left. She'll be outside of the bullseye for her comebacker. Oh, Cat to save the double. Catches the band. Or is that just a single?
That would have been to save the
Save
the double.
Oh, okay. Great putt from Hailey.
Hailey King in for the 3. What a 3. It just requires 2 perfect shots.
Yeah. Confident, calculated risk.
Ella Hansen will take a par. Hailey King's like, hey, I want to pull my pant leg up.
Oh, yeah. She get bit by an ant, too? Actually, I think she might have. She's like itching her leg.
Exactly. She's like, oh no.
I bet she got an ant.
crawled up my pant leg.
Oh, man. They work so fast.
Little surprise for hole 18. Got to keep you alert.
Man.
Cat Mertsch will have to settle for a 7 here on hole 17. That moves Cat Mertsch to 2 over par. Actually, every player on the card is now sitting over par.
Friendship isn't defined by time spent together.
I love seeing
But
myself
rather
in the background when I
by
just like
moments
walk up
shared.
on cards and I'm like, oh.
Moments that are
I'd
warm.
be acting more foolish. I'd be like,
Exciting.
Well, I thought about that and I'm always
putting
like,
my hands in my
When
pocket.
you're outfitted for all that's out there.
maybe I'll
They're
do
doing
more
like dance moves
tomorrow.
back
Becomes
there.
extraordinary.
So here's
I've
to
like
taking
thought
a
about it
moment to
before.
appreciate
I
everyone.
just
Made
normally
outside
just
together.
like walking around, but every time I do that to somebody, it never makes the cut. Like they don't show
Oh,
it.
they're like not showing you
And I'm like,
clowning around.
And hole 18, par 5, 830 feet. This is also a new hole. A tight gap to hit off the tee. The entire tree line along the left side is safe, and the right side has an inner OB line. So your first shot, you're just trying to make it out, and then depending on the wind, you might try and cut the corner, or you'll pitch up to get a little bit closer and then go across. There is a jut out of OB by the sidewalk, and then you get a really narrow, like, keyhole finish that ends in the bubble.
Don't forget the jut.
Don't forget the jut. I do like the forehand play out of here because you can push toward the edge and give yourself the closest crossing point
For eagle.
for eagle.
If you're a big throw.
I mean, even for birdie.
That's true.
But on this hole, I mean, you don't want to push into the trees, but all the tree line is safe. So
Katrina's turnover shot had a bit of a flex finish, and she's in the woods on the left side. Oh my.
ooh. Ella not really getting the angle she wanted on that. Catches an early tree in the tunnel, but is lucky enough to stay in the center.
Mertsch hits the gap, but much like Catrina, she's hyzered into the woods on the left side.
The cats are in the trees, people.
2 cats.
Ella just pitching out to where she probably wanted her drive to land, and she'll just have to make that decision of, do I go over or do I try and go by the corner? And at this point, the wind actually did pick up, and it was a little bit of a headwind.
Looks like she's going for that little tiny landing zone on the edge of the ditch.
Oh, and
Oh,
she does not
she's
make
short.
it. In that play, I mean, you just go long. Don't even, if you're really worried about it, send it.
Both cats forced to pitch out. Now they're going to a similar landing zone, just cutting the corner, hoping to be safe on the short grass, out of the woods.
Yep. Catrina throwing more of the hyzer just to guarantee being across, which is a good play, and she's just on the wood line. Hailey also going for it. I would say she's in the best position off the drive. No, she's aiming for that key area. Oh, and she is out of bounds. I mean, a difference of 15 feet.
This is Mertsch's third shot, also going for that landing zone, and she is safe.
The difference, in distance between Hailey and Cat's shot. So Ella will be going over the OB again here. With that little bit of distance. She is also safe in that little pitch out. Obviously not what she was looking for this whole 18 so far. So she'll just be looking to get up and down, stop the bleeding. Catrina swinging it out wide.
I loved her stompy feet she used in the tall grass. She's giving herself a putt. Sometimes you got to get those high knees.
Yeah, really get it going. Mertsch lining up the forehand to approach into the final green.
Special Pro Tour rules, competitors are allowed to remove the ropes if they want. Mertsch's shot is up there by the basket.
Hansen with the forehand. Looks like she went with a mid here. Gets herself just outside the bullseye. A good shot, good recovery.
Hailey King with a forehand to right outside the bullseye.
Catrina from deep, a little bit high and left side band. So she will be putting again.
Catrina in for a 6 here on hole 18. Cat Mertsch in for the par. I love the skip away.
Yeah.
Skipping is my preferred method of travel.
I actually skipped a little bit today. It was really nice.
Ella Hansen will walk away with a 7 here on hole 18.
Tough back 9. And King in for the par, even with the OB.
And that's Nevin for you.
Yeah, it can happen really quick. We kind of saw that happen with Mertsch and Hansen, really clean front 9. Obviously, with the stroke advantage here, these players are going to be battling to try and make sure they get in that top 8 tomorrow to move on to the final day.
After day 1, Kristen Tatar, Missy Gannon, Owen Scoggins, Holland Hanley, and Macy Veladiaz in the top 5. And as Raven said, all these players are looking to get good scores tomorrow. Everyone plays day 2. And the top 8 females will proceed to Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys tuning in to this day 1 coverage of the Pro Tour Championships. We've been waiting all year for this.
Yeah.
If you'd like to support me, you can pick up one of my Tour Series discs. It glows. It's an Innova It. Get it at your favorite online disc golf retailer.
And if you'd like to support me, you can find my Tour Series Convict on the Dynamic Disc website. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you for day 2.
More Nevin tomorrow.
More Nevin.